Hello grapplers! Welcome to a new Zangief video. Today we're gonna talk about something different. A lot of people have been asking me about changes for Zangief for the next season, and I have a bunch, so I decided to make a video so I can point them to the right direction whenever they ask me about those. Let's start with buttons, okay? This thing, for starters, crouching light punch should not be 6 frames. I know the range is decent, but 6 frames? This is way too slow for a game like this. I feel like crouching light punch should be 5 frames. And that would fix at least a little bit of his poking game, because he has some issues with poking. Especially when he needs to poke on defense, that's a big issue. So having this as a 5 framer would be a godsend. Talking about long range buttons, I think this is fine, but I would give him the suction he had in Street Fighter 5, where you could do this and the Lariat would always connect. I think this would change how this button is used, and that is another thing he actually needs. And talking about buttons, this one and this one, both of them are 7 frames, but I don't feel like there's enough difference between the two of them. I mean, functionally they serve the same purpose. You can go into basically the same combos, the same frame traps. So the only difference is that from here you can do this. That's it. This one doesn't have as much range but recovers faster, and is plus on block. So it's a really weird situation where both of these buttons are way too similar. So I think there needs to be a change, and I think the biggest change would be for this one to actually allow you to hit Lariat instantly. Medium punches. Alright, this, for starters, the target combo needs to hit all the time. They need to fix this target combo. If I'm being honest, I feel like 9 frames is way too slow, considering we have a 10 and a 9 frames. So all of these buttons are for poking, right? But again, the problem is that they don't feel any different enough. The only difference is that this one gets you a way better punish, because you can get the target combo, and that is more damage than this and this. So the problem is mostly fixing the target combo, but doing something about these 2 buttons. If they can reduce the frames of standing medium punch, I'd be happy if they reduce these ones too, because this being a 9 framer, weak to drive impact, same as this one, is like they're not different enough. I think they need to change the frames of this move and this one in particular, change the hit and block in order to at least create a biggest difference between these two. And this one they need to fix the target combo. The problem is the range of this one. The hitbox is great and the hurtbox is hidden behind the hitbox, so it's pretty decent. It's a really good button in terms of the hitbox. The problem is the range. You rarely can whiff punish with this thing. Like here, it would be fine if you could poke the opponent. Rarely you can do something like this. Poke someone with a light and maybe position yourself for this to hit. It is very hard. Now this one. I think this should not be 6 frames. Now, hear me out. If they make this plus 7, the headbutt, plus 7 on hit, then this can stay as a 7 framer. If not, this needs to be 6 frames. Now, why is that? If this is 6 frames, you'll notice that this is plus 6. So if this combos, that would give Zangief a really good non-mirror combo. I've seen a lot of people complaining about the input. I don't know if this can be forward medium punch. Due to how this game works in terms of frame buffering, I wonder if that would be a detriment to Zangief in the long run. Like, let's say you're walking and you want to press medium punch. You could do it like this, since you don't have any inputs, right? What if we get a lot of health staffs without actually wanting us to get one? So I'm conflicted. I think the problem is the input in the game. It's very hard to get this sometimes, because the game interprets the inputs in a really weird way. But overall, I'd say I'm conflicted. I don't know if this needs to be forward medium punch. And talking about headbutt and knee, both should be faster. 14 frames for this is nuts. I don't mind about the frames. I think they're fine. The active frames, the recovery frames, everything is fine. The problem is how slow they are. So if they fix both of them to be 12 frames, I'd be very happy. Regarding this button, I think it's mostly fine, but I feel the armor should start at frame 3, not frame 4. In fact, it would be very cool if it was frame 2, so you could stop more punches. Because there's a situation with Gief that always happens in this game, where you're cornered and you're in burnout. And this is mostly your only tool to escape a possible stun. Like someone, for example, Ken, goes for couching medium punch into drive impact. If you don't have super, your best option is to hold this thing. The problem again is the input in this game, and sometimes you get this standing hard punch very late, and since the armor is only from frame 4 onwards, you will likely get hit by the drive impact. So if they increase the speed of the armor, not the general move, just the armor, for the second or third frame, I think this would benefit Gief in the long run. This, as you can see, is minus 13 and it's a 12 framer. Gief usually cannot punish sweeps with sweep. That's weird. These sweeps need to be faster. I think 10 frames would be enough. Or if they don't want to change the startup, just leave it as a minus 10 move, so you don't get punished all the time for trying to sweep people, because there are some Okis with Gief where your only legit option is a sweep, and if they block it, they can fully punish you. You cannot space this thing properly. It's minus 13. Some characters can even go for super, like Chun-Li. So I think it's way too harsh, the punishment for a block sweep with Gief, if you are spaced correctly. And the only jumping attack that I feel needs changing is jumping hard punch. This thing has a horrible hitbox. Basically, the hitbox stops close to Gief's elbow. So if they enlarge it to be close to the actual hand of Gief, that'd be very good for something like a neutral jump, bait throws, or jump ins, because sometimes this thing trades. Russian suplex, 10 frames. That is, why is that like that? 10 frames, really? I don't think it needs to be 5 like SPD, but at least 8 frames, so you can frame trap with the damn thing. Because currently this grab has little use. You have to be close. You need 9 frames to grab the opponent, so this just doesn't work with Gief. You're rarely that high in terms of frames, so this thing is basically relegated to being a combo ender for a meter, and that's it. You have some options to land it, but you need to use you need to use drive rush, have a lot of frames in order for you not to be interrupted with punches. So you need to be at least +7, and being +7 is so hard with Gief, because if you're +7, you might as well go for health and finish the combo. So it doesn't make sense for that move to be 10 frames. So 8, I think, could be enough. If they leave it as a 6 framer, I'd be happy to, or even faster. But that's just me. The Far Siberian Express needs some changing too. It's, again, the problem with Gief. Everything is way too slow. 28 frames? Dude. 23 frames? Really? And even if you go for something like this, you can still be jabbed out of the start of Siberian Express. Either they make this, they give it the closed version some frames of armor, or they make it fast. Same with this one. This move is a joke from afar. I know some people like to catch Dalsim with it, but rarely. You don't do this on purpose. Now, regarding the big ones, SPD and Borscht. Borscht currently has no range. The OD has a little more range, but you don't want to spend 2 meters on that move. You don't get much compared to Street Fighter 5. So they need to increase every range of this move. Now SPD, again, I'm a little conflicted. I don't think the damage you get justifies the Oki you get. So I would take a damage nerf but I would increase the O key you get from SPD. Because I think they want us to do SPD more often. The problem is that they didn't give Zangief enough tools to get in. So every time you do an SPD, you're losing your turn. So sure, you do a lot of damage, but everyone has better tools to get in. So you end up in a weird situation where you feel like the game is telling you, for example, after lights, do SPD, do SPD, do it now. But if you go for it, you lose your turn, and sure, you go for 2500 damage, which is high. It's basically a combo, but this Oki, man, what is this? So I think SPD needs a damage nerf, but they need to decrease the distance, at least here or something. So you still need to use Drive Rush to get in, but at least you have options, because from here, dude, what do you do? The Drive Rush, standing medium punch, Drive Rush, sweep. I think Lariat is low for what it needs to do. This should be 12 frames, and this should be 9 frames. And the OD version should have the cross-up hitbox, not the regular one. So at least you make a compromise for Zangief. You give him what he needs in this game, but he has to spend meter, and I think that's okay. And in terms of the distance, this thing needs way more range. Because dude, how much this whiffs. Supers, if they give... This is my opinion with supers. I think Zangief level 1 super cannot be fixed in a way we really want to. That means this will never grab grounded people. What I feel they could do is decrease the startup. This thing should be a stupidly good anti-air, because you're spending 1 bar to do it. So 11 frames for starters is way too slow to catch people with the super. That's the first thing. This should be stupidly fast, like 5 frames or 6 frames, in order to actually work as I feel the devs intended. Because you rarely see someone going for this as a reactionary jump, a reactionary situation to jumps. So that just doesn't work. So this needs to be faster. And the second thing is that if you press light kick, medium kick, or hard kick, you could control the distance. And that would make this super very interesting. So if someone, for example, jumps from here, you could use the hard kick version of the super, and you could actually catch them. This needs to be faster, and if you commit to the super and someone is pressing something, they should be grabbed by the super. So this needs to be at least 15 frames. I think the only fix they need to do for Super 3 is having a regular level 3, which is the grab, and a combo level 3, which would deal less damage, but you can still use it as a combo. And that would fix all the problems with level 3. Because you got the problem with level 3 with Zangief is that you need a reset, or you need to wake up with it or mash it in during a block string, and that's the extent of the super utility. If you want to close around with level 3, you cannot do it, because you're usually comboing into level 2, because that is the only combo Zangief can, the only super Zangief can do for combos. I'm pretty sure they're gonna buff the thunderstorm. I'm dead serious. They're gonna make it like 1 frame of startup and 100 active frames. I don't know. You know the only way they can fix this thing? And this thing? Allowing you to counter every single kick in the game with this, except for crouching kicks. The only fix I feel they should do is that this combo should always hit. Like the 3 kicks on hit should always combo, and that's it. But yeah, that's everything I want for Zangief. If you feel like there's something missing, let me know. Let's discuss about Zangief. Next time, we're talking about more matchups. Take care. Remember that I'm streaming. Usually play Zangief. Twitch.tv, Kerupu, with 2 Ps. Remember to subscribe. We're close to 400 subscribers. That's pretty cool. I hope we can reach 500 by the end of the year. But yeah, take care, guys, and keep playing Grapplers. Bye-bye. Shut up, man. You're already a top tier character.